I'm having some technical difficulties apparently. Okay, I think it's all straightened out. Biracial Tiffany here. Gosh, guys, thanks so much for so many really nice comments yesterday. I kind of, as if I was watching myself talk about things I used to be afraid of and worry about, I was like, this is so crazy, and I bet that's not really going to go over well. But I only got, so far, really positive comments, so thank you. I did remember, like, at the end of yesterday's vlog, I was like, I know I'm totally forgetting to say something, and it was that I not only didn't have siblings, biracial siblings, but I think I'm pretty correct in saying that I didn't know another biracial person until I was in college. That when I went to orientation at Michigan, my roommate was biracial, Laura Johnson, hey, and then one of my best friends lived in my dorm, and we ended up in the theater department together, Sophina. Anyway, so that, I think maybe that explains a lot about why these issues, to me, I don't know, like they really stuck with me, or I haven't been able to let them go or to work it out, or why they even perhaps were such a big deal, is because it was a very solitary experience for me. And I think that is serving me well now. But I just wanted to mention that, and now I can't even remember why, but there it is mentioned. So I had some other revelations yesterday. I was thinking about how, I don't know how I got to this thought, but anyway, it just became apparent to me that actually it's not like there are black and white parts of me that are separate within myself. It's like a melding together of these things that we call black and white. I have been accused of talking white or acting white, and I don't even really know what to say about that, other than if perhaps you mean I sound educated, and you who would call that talking white think that education's for white people. I don't know, but I've never thought, like, when I hear my voice, or assumed really that when someone was talking to me on the phone that they would think that I was white and be surprised if and when they met me. Because though I may have traits of speech that we associate with white people, I think I sound a little black too, or something. I just don't think there's a separation. They just sort of go together. And when I perhaps am engaging in behaviors that we typically or generally associate with black people, inescapably there's a little whiteness in there too. So it just is becoming apparent to me that as I'm trying to incorporate whiteness into my sense of self, that really my goal beyond that would be to only realize the unity of the two things, and that there is no space for them to be separate within me. Like when my hair is straight, it's still a little not straight, and when my hair is curly, which really is quite curly and frizzy today, anyway, it's still, you know, kind of straight or long, or, you know, something. It's just like I can never be one without the other. And I think that people, including myself, because of the way I was taught to view things, we're like resistant or immune to the idea that these things can go together quite harmoniously. It's like we have to cling to the idea that black and white are these polarized opposites. And so, like, even when you talk about mixed people, like, it's like, what's black and what's white about you? But really, it's just all you, one you. It's not gray, it's not tan, it's just, you know, a person. I don't know. And what else? I was watching some YouTube videos because I enjoy doing this now very much, and there was one that I don't. The title of it was something like "House Negroes, the Scum of the Earth," or something like this. And so I was like, oh my god, this is going to be something that's like totally derogatory about biracial people, but it wasn't. And what struck me was that they had these clips of Malcolm X talking about field Negroes and house Negroes, which I will now just say field slaves and house slaves because that feels strange to me to say, but he said the house Negro, the house slave was always looking out for his master. And I thought, yeah, on the one hand, okay, that it was a great opportunity for someone in a position to say little power is ridiculous, of no power, no control over anything that happens to you. That's a great opportunity for survival. And it's human nature, I think, to take advantage of such an opportunity. And it was, you know, undeniably some sort of a privilege, I guess. And but then I couldn't help thinking, because I've heard it so many times, that he was really talking about mulattoes, which really, I guess, is, you know, a term I don't use other than to write it as the title of these videos, but I think that's what people generally think, who were the house slaves and who were the field slaves, and you think that the mulatto offspring of slave masters were in the house, but I don't think that that was a guaranteed position you would have. I have to think, as a woman, I have to think that there were a lot of ladies of the house who were beyond resentful of these proofs of their husband's infidelities, and I have to think that some I can't even say biracial, I guess, because there certainly was no term like that then. Some mulattoes were treated worse because of what they represented to the white people. Yeah, so I also thought, though, so that was one point, but perhaps on the other hand, that in being so close to the master and seeming to look out for the master's good above their own or above anyone else's own, but being so close, maybe they were actually looking out for the field slaves too. I can't think that there was an opportunity to say, hey, I heard this, let me give you a heads up. Or maybe make a case for, you know, I don't know. I can only speculate, thank God. I can only speculate on this, but I have to believe that some of those people were very concerned about their mother and their sisters and brothers that were out in the field. I mean, I just don't think it can be said enough to not underestimate the bond between a mother and a child, because it is fierce and it goes both ways. And I guess I get a little defensive about that because, you know, I think that whatever ideas of house slaves that have been passed down somehow are like dumped on me because I'm biracial, and especially because my dad is white. And I also think that it's quite ironic that back in those days the child's race went along with the mother in order to keep them slaves, pretty much, and, you know, create more property. But today we have many, many more biracial people have white moms than black moms. And so this whole you're just black thing, it just like wouldn't fly if we stuck to like what the general rule was before there even was need for a one-drop rule. So those are my thoughts for the day on being biracial in America. Yeah, thanks for listening.